That's gearing up for a World Cup in France next year is, of course, the Matildas. And they were in action against Chile in a so-called friendly in Penrith yesterday. Almost a sellout crowd, 15,500, but not the result they wanted. They lost 3-2, Richard. 3 mistakes we will see here by the Matildas, and it cost them 3 goals.
Yeah, there were 2 obvious takeouts. Once Sam Kerr isn't perfect, she doesn't always score at the
Well, Chile
the right
had done
moment.
their homowork, hadn't they?
Yeah, they shut her down. But she
down.
did, no, but to be fair, she did have 2 or 3 clear opportunities and she'd normally bury at least one of them. But I think the main post-mortem will be the Australian defence and the way they allowed those easy goals on the rebound. You know, they pressured forward, but then you've got to have the concentration and the structure to withstand the inevitable break that's going to come the other way, and 3 times they failed that test. So
we
I
were
think
quite friendly, weren't we?
Huh?
We were quite friendly.
We were
very
too friendly
in the friendly.
Very hospitable.
Yeah, but great, again, and it's become a bit of a cliche, but it's fantastic seeing an Australian women's team supported in the manner they were, with a big crowd, a really appropriate venue, a great atmosphere. And I know and that can sound a little patronising, but it's a really strong part of, you know, the groundswell behind this team, which is great.
Well, 15,500 there yesterday, and you had 17,000 to see the Aussie men's cricket team at Adelaide Oval on Friday night, so it's a great result.
Yeah.
The important thing here, though, Catherine, is the rankings, because Australia ranked 6, Chile ranked 39. Now, the draw for the World Cup will be held in December, and if Australia finishes in that top 6, it's almost like a protected ranking in a sense, the way the system works. So we hope that they avoid that sort of, the draw from death.
Exactly. It's so important for them to win.
The draw from death.
But it's such a pity because they are so successful now that we expect them to win. And I suppose the memories of Penrith last year, and remember the fan with the makeshift jersey with Sam Kerr's number taped on the back, and life has changed so much for her now. She's was a star back then. She's an absolute superstar, and I think we expect them to win, and those memories endure. But we just have to hope that they make up for it on Tuesday in Newcastle.
And the Footyroos, their coach, Graham Arnold, has named a squad for the upcoming friendlies. I think it's against Korea Republic next Saturday night in Brisbane. The story here is that we've got a former A-League coach who's picking current A-League players. So he's rewarding players really for staying at home and showing some good form. Yeah,
and absolutely on form. I think Craig Goodwin particularly was a great selection given his performance in the FFA Cup final. Scored goals with either feet, you know, showed a lot of skill in that game, you know, thumped a couple in, so it's good to see that. Unfortunately, of course, we had the injury to Daniel Arzani, which was confirmed as an ACL during the week, and that's a real setback. I don't think particularly for the Asia Cup, maybe. I mean, he's a lively presence and could have been effective there, but more for the long term, so they'll be hoping for a full recovery for him. I'm thinking, you know, next World Cup.
And Gideon, just news overnight, there's been an ugly incident in Mudgee. A game was played between the Western Sydney Wanderers and Brisbane Roar. Yes. It was a draw 2-2 in the end, but a fan was ejected?
Fan was ejected for calling Jamie Young, the goalkeeper, a monkey, which is, of course, a term of abuse with a long heritage in football. I guess you could date it back to John Barnes playing for Liverpool. The fan was ejected. Was recognised on the audio and ejected promptly, but there'll be pressure on to take further action, and they've got a culprit. I imagine the justice will be exemplary.
Absolutely, no place for it in sport. So you would think that you'd hear more about that over the next couple of days.